and welcome to another episode of the Step-by-Step series. And today I'm gonna feature myself in the Worcester. Um, I think I don't have to say too much about the Worcester. I covered it quite a lot of times, especially in the last ranked season and also in clan battles. So I think most of you should know it. I mean, can go over the general details for the people that don't know the Worcester or don't have it unlocked yet. Worcester is the DPM monster among the cruisers, besides the Minotaur on tier 10. It's the tier 10 American light cruiser and has 6 times 2 151 millimeter or 150 millimeter guns, which are quite effective with IFHE, Captain Perk, and I think I don't know what the base reload is, but it's I think 3-4 seconds or so on the guns, and this is of course a massive firepower. On the other hand, you are really squishy, but you tend to get overpanned by battleships with high penetration values on their guns. Yeah, you have access to radar, defensive AA, hydro, and a heal, so it's also a consumable party. Yeah, that's basically it about it. You mostly play it not in the open, especially not in the early game. And yeah, you have access to a 9-kilometer radar, which is also pretty nice to have, but it was more overpowered before. But let's stop at this here. We are playing on Sleeping Giant. You may wonder why I didn't go A. Well, first of all, D, having control over D gives you so much control over the whole map. That's the first thing. Second of all, I'm in division with Masaru, and we decided to go D to make sure that we get D. I don't like to split up in divisions very often, unless it's if you play like 2 DDs and you're the only DDs in the team, and then you of course have to split up because some other guys won't have any vision and maybe a DD in front of them, and that's gonna be a bit tough. But if you're in a balanced division, these things never happen. So the issue is we have also Worcester here in our team and also on the side. So these guys have potentially only the Missouri as radar, and normally you could argue, why didn't you go here? Well, to cover A with radar, as I said, I like to play in division, and let's get control over D and make sure that we get it, and after that we can still go and maybe do something about the middle, because if you cleared this area, you have so many safe places behind. If kiting cruisers are pushing down here, then you get control over the whole map. Then A is not really important, and everything that comes out of A is getting into crossfires and so on and so on and so on. So this is a really, really good cap to get initially. I always favor this this cap over the A cap here. A cap can be quite a struggle to get over time because of these chokes. I mean, ballsy plays from the mid can work, but then you need the support here, so there's a lot of X factors that you can't, how can I say it, you can't know before. If the enemy DD is going also mid, then does he have more support? So these aggressive moves, they might work in clan battles, but in random battles, I rather play safe and spot what I'm awaiting here first. And yeah, I mean, I don't mind people doing it, but the chances of surviving are always a bit limited. So that's the reason I go to D. So another reason why D is from north so strong is, for example, this island. You can sit comfortably behind here and just shoot everything what is down here. And only a DD that goes up this line can spot you, or a carrier, of course. My Worcester teammate, he decided to go here. I don't like this. This position is more made for Stalingrads, Moskvas that can bow tank and sustain damage a lot. Also, I see often Clevelands, Des Moines, and so on. They will like always go into this position to have radar range. But my initial goal is not to have radar range. My initial goal is to capitalize on enemy mispositioning. I can still support the DD in case it's something is lit up here. And yeah, I can bring my DPM effectively in. Later on, maybe if I have to make a play, I can go a bit closer and radar. That's always an option. These islands here cover you, but especially when the enemy is going like this way on the flanks, these islands aren't safe anymore. So you have to make sure this is more or less safe. Then you can sit behind an island, maybe harass the guys down here. So that's what is important about it. So as I said, I don't like this position of the Worcester. Also, the enemy has a Worcester and a Seattle. So since we don't know where it's positioned, I can't recommend to go initially with the gearing in here. And the Worcester sits in smoke because then he could be lit up as well and radared. And yeah, things are going bad. Alright, so there's a ballsy Kabaros, which is a stupid play. He spotted from the moon. Not really a smart move. Also, when you're the... Let's say we have only 2 DDs on this side. On the whole map, not 3 like we have here. Let's just imagine that. Then this, what the Shima is doing, is the most effective. Don't go initially in your destroyer behind an island. You provide no vision for your team. You're at constant danger, because you don't need to know if someone sneaks up on you. You could be radared, someone could sneak up here, open fire. The Shimakaze is providing so much spotting of the 9-10 line and so on, that he can make sure that the gearing is kinda safe. Gearing is probably radared. Yeah, there's the Worcester. Of course, I'm focusing him right immediately as soon as he is spotted, because he's the biggest danger to the friendly destroyers. So this is the best approach. Don't go for the cap initially. You can do it later on. These guys, you see it a lot of times that people know this island is good, and especially when battleships try to push the 9-10 line, you can provide so much spotting, harass them, torp them. The HE spam from behind the island is always quite a crazy thing. Also, a good example what not to do in a battleship. You don't go initially or from the start on in front of this island. Also, most of the cruisers should avoid this, because then exactly that what happens to the Missouri right now is going to happen with you. You either stay here, like this Musashi did, in a kind of safe distance where he can get unspotted, or you go around here. Especially Republics, fast battleships, they are good at going around here. Conqueror can sit here and also farm like stationary cruisers or battleships that are up here. That's okay, but the Missouri play is a critical error, and he gets completely demolished for a good reason, because it's absolutely garbage positioning. Even a Zhao has a hard time if the DD pushes aggressively. The issue is this island prevents you of evading shots. You can ram yourself into the island. I see that very often. People don't think, they just think, yeah, I can go everywhere on the map. That's not the case. So keep that in mind, don't do it. Right here, kill steal accomplished. But never mind. So the Shima is still providing the spotting, which is great, and Kabaros is still in the cap. He can't provide anything for his team. He's smoked up, he sits in smoke, absolutely useless. So far it looks as if the Booster is also a good position found. He's safe, more or less safe, but of course he can't bring his DPM to bear. That's a big issue. And hitting Kabaros in this distance is of course not so easy for the Booster because of the shell arcs. But of course I take pot shots, I'm not spotted, and so on. So right now I'm thinking, okay, how do we get control over D? And how do we get rid of the Booster? First of all, Battleship could use it, could shoot. By the way, again, Battleship positioning. Please don't sit behind an island as a battleship. Don't sit behind an island with a battleship. I mean, maybe with a low tier battleship you can do that because you don't have the sustainability. if you know there are a lot of enemy cruisers and there's a lot of stuff going on. But you are supposed to tank initially. You need to get, yeah, you need to just so that these guys can't be overrun. Yeah, how can I say it? I mean, you have just simply to tank. This is really important. And otherwise, the enemy is just pushing over and over and over. And you want to create some angles on pushing ships. So occupying the 9-10 line up here in this area is not a bad idea. You can stay angled away, having shots in this area. Of course, you have to be aware that there sometimes might be a DD going this line, but if you're smart, you will realize at some point. So this is definitely a play. You can like go like this, turn up here, and shoot your guns here. For example, this Worcester would have had a bad time then. Mazur is decided to stay here to have shots on these areas, but he's the only battleship. No, the Jean Bart is here. He could also go here. I don't know. I think he's going later on there. So that depends. Creating angles, the usual stuff in a battleship, and tanking, of course. If you all sit behind that island, the only thing that's getting shot at is the DD, because he is most likely the most exposed ship in this area down here. Alright, so I see now a potential for an aggressive move. Because the enemy didn't cover this flank. The Conqueror is forced out of position because of the DD. It seems as if he noted that and sent over warnings to the Cabros that there is a DD, and Cabros is intentionally or not intentionally running behind the Shima, I don't know. Could be, you never know. Yeah, but in this distraction time, I mean, the only thing I'm worried about is the Musashi, so I'm angling towards him, but I have no other choice than angling, because if I go broadside, I can't reach this island. I want to go here to support the gearing, who is under fire now from the booster, who repositioned, and I want to really negate this. Of course, I want to travel as much time as possible undetected, so I know that the booster is radaring. He has less HP than I have, so if I don't get hit by a battleship, I should win this trade easily. And that's my goal here. Digging out this booster. It's not a particularly bad position that the booster has, but it's also a pretty aggressive and vulnerable position if no one is on the 9-10 line. And that's a thing you shouldn't have gone there beforehand, unless the 9-10 line was covered by his team. But it wasn't, so now I can comfortably sit in smoke because his radar ran out, and I can just demolish him. Aggressive play, accomplished, easy, and that should be his death sooner or later. He manages to get undetected, but of course I'm blind firing into this position. The question is, where did he go? I mean, he rammed himself towards the island in the back, so he couldn't reverse anymore. Yes, he went a bit in front. My aim is a bit off. Okay, then spotted again. And I can now he's finishing him, he's pushing forward because there's no coming out for him anymore. He's just dead in the water. So the Conqueror now pushes aggressively.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
But I'm not so worried about it because I have a Shimakaze. Masu is backing me up as well. This is also a thing in the battleship. If you see like cruisers going not stupid into a cap, which is like a suicide run, then you wanna back them up as a battleship. You wanna see these opportunities and then you wanna follow them. And I mean, of course, we have a coordination in our division, but it's going blind. I don't need to ask Mazru for backing me up. That's the thing he is naturally doing. So. Yeah, just that you know. Against random, when you play a lot with randoms, maybe just inform your team, I'm going in, I see an opportunity, I need backup from the BBs. And as a BB, you don't want to be at the B and A line. if your tank, if you were focused too much, then go dark for a while, heal up, and then, but don't run out of position. I see a lot of battleships that just run, sail, all the time. So Conqueror activated the monster here. That was not planned. I thought he would have been dead.
The ship is on fire.
Yeah, I fat fingered. By the way, fat fingering, I'm really good at this in this game. I also managed to activate defensive AA for no reason. And Hydro, which is also unnecessary, but okay. Also keeping always an eye out on the Musashi and shells. But Musashi was smart enough and used this time where he saw his team collapsing to turn around and reposition. That was a good move. I mean, it's probably... he couldn't do much more, so... But positioning-wise and reaction time-wise, this was a good move by the Musashi, I have to mention. So.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert.
Alright, so I see now B is getting kept, so of course I'm heading towards it. And my San Luis seems to acknowledge this as well. So of course I'm supporting him and go there with the radar. No point of chasing this lonely Musashi. I can stay behind this island barrier and it's fine. Yeah, and if you look at team score, it doesn't look too great for us. I mean, you could say it's hard game. But actually, we won the side. We have still 2 radar cruisers. The enemy is just crumbling. I know at this point already that we have... I mean, already the positioning is good of our team. I mean, this Yamato distracts these guys for a time being. So there's actually no issue for me to not say that we will win this. Just by superior positioning. Unless someone is doing some stupid mistakes, but I doubt that will happen, so. So access, I missed the Hydro now when I push in, but okay. It is how it is. I have to rely. I have RPF, so I know where the closest target is. So the Kitakaze is probably around here. And yeah. Let's see. So far it went really well, and I didn't see anything that I could complain about, and I think my decision making was also pretty good. Looks as if the Worcester raided the Kitakaze. This is also a thing. Let me quick... if there are still 2 radar cruisers around, you wanna avoid the middle as a DD as hell. Because radar cruisers are normally like Worcester, Des Moines, they are these island huggers. They can radar. As soon as they push out, they have full coverage with the radar range over this area. So you want to avoid being in this middle. I see a lot of DDs doing that and thinking they could take a shortcut. That's an issue. You want to be a bit more on the side here of this map. The middle is absolutely death zone when there's radar ships still available. Same for cruisers. If there are battleships somewhere here or there, you get just murdered. That's why it's so hard to push out of this A cap. You normally go in and then you go out better, and only, I mean, you can get into a stationary position maybe here on the edges of this area of the A cap, but pushing out is normally a suicide thing. Okay. So Kitakaze is spotted, easy. My Hydro is up soon as well, so I should be fine, I guess. On. And now we can Daka back. Kitakaze. And hello. Okay, Kitakaze seems not to have IFHE, because otherwise I can't explain why he's shooting AP at me. I mean, I'm gladly tanking this here. Okay, that's one kill. And full HP Harumo. Have to pay attention that I don't run into the island, so I have to switch the sides. I also did this move to bait torpedoes in case he has some available.
The ship is on fire.
now make a hard break, hard turn to avoid additional torpedoes. I doubt he has launched some, but you never know. Alright, so RPF leads to here, so I know already there's nothing in the A-cap anymore. And yeah, it's more or less just picking up what's going on. What's left, I mean, what's going on. Okay, Seattle spotted. Yeah, on this range when he's kiting, it's a bad thing. But I see that the Minotaur is to my right. And it seems as if I can't finish this Seattle. I want to get for the Kraken. So I see that the Minotaur is showing broadside. I'm switching to AP on this distance to see the AP penetration on the Worcester is good enough. Score 4 Citadels. Don't care about the torpedoes, because I want to just finish him to secure my Kraken. And then the Sandui did it and denies me the Kraken. So, I think that was well explained what I had in my head and what decisions I took and why I took them. Make and why I made them. Yeah, pretty. I mean, it's not simple, but seeing opportunities. I'm always repeating this. Seeing opportunities comes with experience, of course. Has to have some requirements. If you go in a certain position, is the flank clear, and so on and so on. I hope I'm able to teach you that a bit, and you can how can I say it? Take something away and learn for yourself from it, because that's the whole thought behind this series, that you can understand my decision making process. And yeah, I hope I can make it visible and listenable enough for you, despite my yeah, not so good spoken English. Oh god, that sounds also weird. But yeah, I had a pretty good game. I mean, I have to say, I'm playing the Worcester not so much in randoms, but I'm always above 100k. It's barely that I'm dropping below. It's really hard to achieve in this ship, to be honest. 2.8 base XP. Yeah, well, killing the DDs or damaging them hard, and cruisers, of course, that makes a lot of XP. Getting the cap, yeah, it adds up. And of course, you should mostly HE in the Worcester. AP is only really close range an opportunity, and against targets like the Minotaur, and this distance is okay. When he shows flat broadside, then it's definitely a thing you can do. Apart from that, just go for the HE and fire damage. It's just reliable enough, or more reliable than AP. AP just becomes effective really close range, and it definitely doesn't have the penetration angles of the heavy AP of the American heavy cruisers, so be aware of that. Don't expect them to pen at these steep angles. So for all that don't know it. All right, yeah, that's it from me. Hope I could help out. Hope it was a good explained example of a gameplay, and you could take something away from it. All right, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye bye.